like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Forests are full of mysteries, be it unusual animal behavior or some terrifying sightings. From the spookiest to the creepiest or weirdest of all, hang in there, as here are some of the most chilling things caught on trail cams that no one would have seen otherwise. Crawling monster. When a car accidentally stopped in the middle of the grassy field, it made a rather very scary sighting, as all of a sudden, a strange humanoid creature emerged from the tall grass, crawling on all 4 of its feet. With a thin skeleton-like body and pale skin, is it a human dressed up in a chilling costume? Or is it really some wood monster patrolling among the bushes? Pour in your best guesses and let me know what kind of creature you think it could possibly be. Glowing eyes. Where darkness of night is already pretty terrifying, the clip features numerous pairs of bright yellow eyes, shining with a petrifying glory. But just as the cameraman hit the flash a bit closer, it appears the zombie eyes belong to none other than a bunch of raccoons looking for some trash to snack on. That's because raccoons' eyes are naturally layered with tapetum lucidum that reflects light and helps them see in the dark. Hairless creature. Spotted by a group of plantation workers, the eerie creature was found with sharp claws, short ears, no tail, and surprisingly, no fur coat. The creature had brownish gray skin which kinda looked both gross and scary, which is why the workers beat the creature, believing it to be an alien species lurking on Earth to haunt them. But when the environmental experts determined the animal as a rare Malayan sun bear, they not only condemned the workers, but forced the poor bear to get back into the jungle, safe and sound. Chupacabra in woods. A skinny dog with a bit more creepy vibe and absolutely horrifying features. Is this a real-life chupacabra or a mutant dog species? The video is from Picayune, Missouri. A place already having a bad reputation for scary chupacabras shows this hairless creature with pointed eyes and somewhat elongated tail. The question is, what is it doing out there? Stalking for goats for a midnight snack? Or just trying to ward off the locals with its oh-so-scary sighting? Monkey carrying knife. For all I know, monkeys are good at finding tools, but a monkey learning how to use a knife? Now that's something scary. In the Budongo Forest chimpanzee tour, a bunch of tourists were baffled to see this huge chimp carrying a large knife in the middle of the forest. According to studies, chimps observe humans as much as humans watch them, and this one just happened to seem quite fascinated by the usage of knives in the woods. It probably moved up a few strokes too in the neighborhood of other chimps, showing nobody could mess with him. Dancing deer. Most deer have a shy personality. Well, for a fact, this might be true, because this lone deer was caught showing some crazy dance moves when nobody was watching. The footage was caught by a remote camera in Yellowstone National Park, United States, featuring this dancing deer, hopping along the greens while bouncing and spinning in happy circles of joy. Could this guy get any happier? Nobody, even scientists, aren't sure why this happy fella seemed way too expressive. Maybe that's just how deer behave when no one is around. Extinct mouse deer. A bizarre deer-like animal with a two-toned fur coat was found foraging for food in the forest. At first glance, it looked like a weird mashup of a deer, a mouse, and a pig. However, on a closer look, it turned out to be a rare species of deer, otherwise known as a silver-backed chevrotain. Almost lost to science, the animal decided to make an appearance after nearly 30 years in Vietnam. Known as the world's smallest hoofed mammal, these rabbit-sized species are neither mice nor deer, but a half-painted beast who appeared to be shy and solitary. Albino deer rescue. In September 2019, a rare white albino deer was sighted. But while the view is precious, it's kinda painful too, as the poor deer's antlers had become entangled in an outdoor netting at a driving range. Jumping and snapping in pain, the animal just couldn't free itself on its own. But thankfully, when the firefighters spotted this vulnerable beauty, they went into action. It took an effort of around 1 hour to free the iconic Mansfield deer, whose sighting is almost 1 in 30,000. Deer throw-up. Well, you might have seen some creatures swallowing big animals, but have you ever seen a snake vomiting a fully grown animal? Turns out this South African snake bit off more than it could chew, but definitely not more than it could puke. The video shows this bloated rock python in a farm after it had devoured an entire deer, but found itself unable to move as a result. Stuck in the middle, it decided to throw the whole thing in one piece before it got choked by the doomed deer. Maggots feast. While walking along the trail, this man stumbled upon a deer lying lifeless in the forest. Except it was not a regular deer. Quite creepy to even look at. The deer, besides looking like it had gotten doomed because of some lethal skin disease, was oozing out a foul smell. Well, the man got closer, and it turned out the poor animal is wrapped up in an incredibly stinky aura because of an ongoing decomposition. Smelly, bloated, and filled with maggots, the poor animal is at its final stage of decomposition before turning fully into a skeleton. Giant snake skin. A rather very haunting view was caught in Maine when a churned up skin of a huge snake was found in the woods in August 2016. Measuring up to 12 feet in length, experts believe it could belong to an anaconda who got bait to a hunter during a hunting spree. Anyhow, according to research, snakes shed their skin 3 to 6 times each year, with younger snakes doing it more often than the adult ones. And unlike reptiles, they do not eat their shed skin. Raven removing ticks. In southwest of Brisbane, a wallaby with hundreds of huge ticks and parasites around its neck stopped by the wildlife drinking station to quench its thirst. It got lucky. Well, I'm talking about water. You see that raven? Who appeared as an angel to help this suffering animal bail out of the ongoing misery. The footage shows a large raven pecking the ticks off the wallaby when another bird joins the feast until the animal is absolutely disease-free. Trapped wolf. Quite lethargic, shivering for breath, and in pain. One day in 2015, a hunter, after hearing a coyote-like scream, went into the nearby woods. Shocked to his core, a huge timber wolf was set up in the trap, with no way to get out of it. Well, thanks to Owens, the hunter, who came up with this ingenious idea of using a plywood as a barrier while releasing the wolf's paw and allowing it to flee. Once the idea worked, the fearful wolf took no time, darting into the tree line. Grand fish feast. In order to catch different animals reacting differently to a pile of fish, a man in Florida placed a bunch of fishes in the middle of the woods alongside a trail camera. Mesmerized by the smell of fresh fish, from raccoons to river otters, everyone hopped on it except for these 2 giant bears, which is pretty unusual because, as a fact, bears love fish, especially if it's salmon. Maybe these 2 were not hungry as others, or they happen to have other preferences. After all, wildlife is unpredictable for a reason, right? Strange behavior. On one September morning, a deer was caught in the forest of North Carolina, manifesting quite an unusual practice. The footage was recorded at 5 a.m. in the morning, featuring this deer standing on its hind legs while hanging the front legs into the air. Well, there's no visible fruits on the trees to forage on. What is it trying to do then? Is it some kind of mysterious nocturnal behavior, or what? Let us know your thoughts on it below. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. Today's subscriber pick points towards this terrifying picture of a deer with a woman who kind of looks like she's about to hunt down the poor animal in one go. While no ordinary woman is capable of doing so, there is a concept in Buddhism and Chinese traditional religion called hungry ghost. It represents beings who are driven by intense emotional needs in an animalistic way. Well, if that's true, I'm afraid of this deer's fate, because that girl in the background looks quite hungry to have a midnight snack, oozing with freshly chopped deer meat. Travel partners. This video from February 2022 shows a duo of absolutely unusual pals. Speaking of which, the coyote waits until the badger joins in the hunting mission, and the two went along for their night search. The clip is from Northern California, next to a highway near Gilroy, supporting a research theory that this unusual relationship is for a reason, where coyotes can chase down prey, but if it runs, badgers can dig through underground burrow systems, making an inescapable trap for the potential prey. Walking with two heads. This unusual Sika buck with two heads was spotted in Hokkaido, Japan. Well, no, it's not some bizarre deformation, but rather a pretty unrealistic scenario when this buck just happened to be stuck with another decapitated buck's head to its antlers. And while there's no reasonable explanation to this unsettling view, experts say the two of them were locked in a battle when one passed away, leaving the other one with its head as a prize. See you next time!